What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to Marvel Comics, and we are going to continue our coverage over Spider-Man. But this time, we're going to pick up with the first appearance of Hydro Man. One of those Spider-Man villains that's kind of popular, kind of not popular. He kind of falls in between those two categories, but this is his first appearance. Amazing Spider-Man number 214. And let me tell you, this is a crazy story. I find it funny to me personally. But if you like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe. But here we go. Hydro Man's first appearance. Now, this issue picks up after Amazing Spider-Man number 211, where Spider-Man had fought against Namor the Submariner. They have fought on a boat, but either way, Spider-Man is making sure everything is okay for this ship. Except that is when a generator has fallen in the ocean. This is very important because one of the shipmates, Mr. Whitman, mentions that in the ocean right now, there are volcanic gases. Right after he says that, well, that is when the line breaks and the generator falls in the ocean. This leads us into the origin of Hydro Man because another shipmate, Morris Bench, is playing cards with another shipmate. It leads to Spider-Man on accident knocking him overboard because Spider-Man is trying to catch the wire and use his webs to keep the two pieces of the wire together so they can pull the generator back up. While Spider-Man is doing that, well, Morris Bench falls into the ocean. The generator and the gases change the way his body is and of course turns him into Hydro Man. You have someone tell Spider-Man that someone has gone overboard and Spider-Man goes to save him. When Spider-Man gets down in the water, he sees Hydro Man's body actually able to slip through the ship propeller without getting hurt. Spider-Man didn't think anything about it and brought him back up to the ship. You have Whitman take Morris Bench somewhere to rest, only for us to see that for him, he thinks he is sweating a lot. Except in reality, it is more of him not realizing he has powers and not being able to control his powers. So his body is releasing water everywhere. Switching back to Spider-Man, we see him going home thinking that he is going to have a normal day, except that he gets a call from Jonah asking Peter to take pictures of people suffering from the heat of New York, which of course Parker says yes, but after he does that, he then calls Debbie Whitman, who goes to Peter's college, and asks her to join him. This was always the case that maybe they will get together or not between the two of them. Really ends up with her saying yes, she will go with him to watch him take pictures of people suffering from the heat. We then switch to some kind of bar where we see Morris drinking his day away, but also hoping that some cold drinks will help him chill out. To him, he still thinks he is still sweating. Then he is greeted by Sadie. This is just some lady who is going to play a big role in the next Hydro Man video we do. If we do that one. Either way, he turns her down and that is when he just falls apart into a puddle. He is able to pull himself together, but that is when he realizes that he actually has powers. So to him, he's going to hunt down Spider-Man because technically it is Spider-Man's fault for what had happened to him. This then leads into the funny part of the video. Honestly, I found this hilarious, where he starts to jump around the city and goes through people pipes hoping that someone can tell him where Spider-Man is. Like, think about yourself being at home and then out of nowhere someone pops out of your pipes and be like, where is Spider-Man? Either way, he is unable to get someone who can tell him anything. Getting back to Peter Parker, we see him and Debbie go to the Daily Bugle, where we see him being greeted by Jonah. You have Jonah tell Peter Parker that he has a different job for him, which is to get photos of someone popping in and out of people's pipes. So of course, Hydro Man, but also it is Spider-Man, realizing that he has to change into his hero outfit and go figure out what is going on here, which then leads into Spider-Man swinging around town looking for Hydro Man, going all over town hoping to find him. Spider-Man does find him, and when he does find him, you have Hydro Man actually blasting Spider-Man out of the window. When Spider-Man returns, well, Hydro Man disappeared. And now it is like, where in the world did Hydro Man go? We jump into the closing section of the book, where you have Peter Parker go back to the Daily Bugle and ask Jonah to put a posting out saying Spider-Man is challenging the Hydro Man, telling him where to meet up for this big battle, and the two of them do meet up, which then leads into a big battle between the two of them. Now this is showing how smart Spider-Man is. Well, really basic science, but also more of Spider-Man thinking that if Hydro Man is made of water, well, he should have the same weakness like a body of water, where you have Spider-Man kind of keeps jumping from roof to roof on these tall buildings, and the reason why is because he is close to the sun. Remember that in this issue, it is one of the hottest days in New York, and so means that Spider-Man is hoping that it will dry out Hydro Man, which it does, and of course it makes Hydro Man fall apart and then evaporate into the sky, and that is how Spider-Man is able to defeat Hydro Man for the first time. Literally, that is it. That's it for Hydro Man and his first appearance as a Spider-Man villain. And the next time he comes back, it's even crazier. But if you like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video.